Hey, Lewis, you're doing extra overtime today, kid. Huh? I want everything in the folder named Ken's Super Duper Ultra Important Invoice Mailing List folders 1 to 4 on the cloud, done by the end of today. But Ken, I already went home today. What the heck did you just say to me? I booked the afternoon off since I had some urgent business to attend to during the afternoon today. Didn't I tell you this before? Well, in that case, you need to get your ass back to the office ASAP. Get moving, kid. Go, go, go. These invoices ain't gonna complete themselves. I just spent a whole frickin' 5 minutes putting the work I want you to do into a separate folder, so you're gonna make damn sure you get to work on it the moment you get back to this office. I don't care whether you have to stay till midnight. I want everything in that folder doing today. I'm sorry, Ken, but there is no way I'm gonna be able to do that. What did you just say to me, boy? I'm on the train right now. Huh? The train? I'm heading out to Denver for a relative's wedding. What? What in the devil's name do you think your plan had? Boy, you don't get to disappear off to Denver without telling me. I'm your senior at this company. I have a bunch of documents I need to hand in to the client by first thing tomorrow morning, you idiot. Are those the ones the boss asked you to send to the bakery we just signed the contract with? What was the name again? Bread Zeppelin. So what if it is? That contract is totally outside my area of responsibility. And even if I was able to help you, half a day isn't enough for me to familiarize myself with the nature of the work to the degree that I could complete it to a satisfactory standard in adherence with corporate compliance procedures. But I'm sure you knew that already. Basically, you're trying to force your work onto me like you always do, right? Do your own work yourself. Who the heck do you think you're speaking to, boy? I'm your senior at this company. Do you hear me? Your senior. Don't you think getting to work on those invoices would be a more efficient use of your time than trying to pressure someone both unqualified and unable to do your work for you? Like I just said, you're gonna do it for me whether you like it or not. This is an order from your direct superior. Ken, how many times do I have to tell you? You might have been here longer than me, but you're not my superior. Besides, it's my day off tomorrow too, so it'd be much quicker if you just did it yourself. Who knows, if you get to work now, you might still make the deadline. I'll be arriving at Denver soon, so I'm heading off. Bye, Ken. I ain't done speaking to you, kid. Don't screw me around, boy. It'll be the last thing you ever do. You got some nerve to disobey me. Do you have any idea who I am? I'm the son of the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. My dad runs this neighborhood. If you disobey me, my gang leader dad will not take this lying down. Hey! You aren't even reading my messages. Quit playing around, boy. This is serious. Hey, Mikaela. Has Ken been trying to force you to do his work by any chance?
Oh, Lewis. Yes, he has. I'm still at the office.
I see. God damn it. That guy's such a pain in the ass. That jerk acts like he owns the place, despite only having been here 3 months longer than us. To be honest, I think he was salty about me getting off early today, and to make matters worse, me leaving at noon meant he tried forcing twice the workload on you. I'm sorry, Mikaela.
Hey, what are you talking about? You don't have to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. It's that idiot Ken's fault, not yours. You've had today booked as a half day for months now, right? It's not like you just decided to go home on a whim. And he'd have known too if he ever bothered to check the shift book. Besides, you're always standing up for me. If anyone's at fault here, it's mine for being so timid. I've always found it hard to stand up to people, and when he comes at me with his domineering attitude and his absurd requests, I just freeze up. It's like I get this big spike of adrenaline and I'm too scared to say no. I guess today just can't be helped.
Mikaela, that's where you're wrong.
Huh?
Those are his jobs and he should do them himself. Whether Ken's who he claims to be or not, it's still not appropriate for him to abuse his power to force and manipulate his co-workers to do his bidding because he can't be bothered to do his job. From our perspective, it's not appropriate for us to take on work we haven't been asked to do. Not only would the work not get done to the standard required, but it would also have knock-on effects on our own responsibilities. Not only that, but if we do what that wannabe Al Pacino tells us, it'll cause huge problems for our managers and assistant managers whose job it is to distribute work between departments and oversee progress reports.
Wow. I guess when you put it like that, it's hard to argue. You're absolutely right, Lewis.
This should go without saying too, but there's a chance it could have knock-on implications for other employees, both inside and outside of our department. Aren't you currently putting your work on hold to deal with the mountain of invoices Ken told you to take care of?
Yes, I am.
Right. Well, in that case, I feel bad for having taken up your valuable time with these messages. So if there's anything you think you can partition off and send my way, then don't hesitate. I'll have whatever you send me done as quickly as I can.
Wait, what?
It just so happens that I'm currently in possession of a company laptop that's been okayed for use outside the company HQ. Obviously, I have all necessary permissions from management, so you don't have to worry about that.
Lewis.
I take it you're dealing with the stuff in the Ken folder in the cloud?
Yes. In that case, and I feel kind of guilty asking you this, but would you mind creating the documents specified in document creation number 3?
Got it. You don't have a thing to feel guilty about, Mikaela. Me and you are in this together.
But you were supposed to have the afternoon off.
Yep, and had it. It's evening now, you know.
Okay. Thanks so much. You have no idea how much of a help this is.
Don't mention it. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, we got it. No sweat. Thanks a bunch, Lewis. Thanks to you, I got everything done much quicker than I expected.
Don't mention it. To be honest, I hardly did anything, but Mikaela, I feel like I should tell you this, and I want you to know I'm not trying to boss you around or impose anything on you. I'm telling you as a friend. You can't carry on accepting work for contracts you're not responsible for, unless you have specific instruction from a manager to do so. You might have gotten by without any issues so far, but it's only a matter of time before something blows up. I won't go over the reasons again. You already know why, right? All the stuff we discussed earlier.
Yeah, right. I know. It's not that I don't understand, and everything you said earlier made perfect sense to me. But Ken says he's the son of the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. I have no way of knowing whether he's telling the truth or not, and when I think about the off chance that he is, I'd kind of just shrink in fear. He does have tattoos on his arm. Have you ever seen them?
Mikaela, I understand how you feel, and believe me and you aren't the only ones who are sick to death of the guy. Whether it's because he claims to be the son of a gangster, or whether it's just straight up because of his arrogant, overbearing attitude. I hear there are a lot of people at this company who can't stand the guy, and find him difficult to stand up to. But it won't be much longer now.
Huh? What won't?
I have a feeling things will be moving in a much more positive, real direction soon.
Lewis? What are you talking about?
Just hold out a little longer, Mikaela. Okay? Hey, Lewis. I saw you in the changing rooms. This morning, when I was getting changed in the locker room, I caught you staring at the tattoos on my arm. Oh, you mean those cheap-looking barbed wire and skull and crossbone tattoos on your forearm and hand? Cheap-looking? What the hell did you just say? Those are nothing but stick-on tats, right? You know, the ones that kids play with. What? No way. They're the real deal. As real as it gets. It is pretty strange. You're right, I did happen to walk into the locker rooms while you were getting ready for work, and I saw the skull and crossbones and barbed wire tats on your arm. But I've never seen an actual member of the Aryan Brotherhood with nothing but a few small tattoos like that. They're usually covered from head to toe in swastikas. What? If you were really from the kind of circles you claim to be, something tells me your tats would be different. The real Aryan Brotherhood guys have swastikas and Nazi stuff on their faces, back, shoulders, pecs, pretty much everywhere. But you only have a couple of random-ass tats, somewhere you can conveniently show them off to people. Isn't it kind of cringe? What did you just say? Cringe? Yeah, using children's stick-on tattoos to intimidate your coworkers is definition of cringe. Besides, I'm pretty sure claiming to be a gangster is against company policy. Children's stick-on tattoos? What the hell are you talking about, asshole? Company policy? God damn it, you better stop at this crap or I'll don't make me mad, kid. Ugh. Yeah, company policy. I can't believe I'm actually about to explain something this simple, but here I go anyway. Company policy refers to written guidelines that outline the practices and procedures of a business. If you break the rules, you get fired. Fired? Yeah, fired. Now, if you are actually in a gang, it'd probably be wise if you stop going around the office bragging about it to anyone who will listen to you before you end up getting fired. Of course, only if you actually are the son of the gang boss. What the heck? How do you know all this? And why would you say my tats are stuck on? It's hardly rocket science, Ken. As for the tats, I've been used to looking at tattoos ever since I was a kid. Wait. Used to looking at tattoos? Since you were a kid? What's that supposed to mean? Who are you, Lewis? Oh, looks like I already used up half my break talking to you. I didn't even eat my lunch yet. Catch you later.
Hey, Lewis, I hope you're doing well. Would you mind if I asked you a question?
Hey, Mikaela, sure. Go right ahead. What is it?
Is it just me, or does Ken seem way quieter and more subdued today? Or rather, he came back off lunch break. It's like he's a different person. I know you said to me before you thought things with him would be improving soon. Does this have anything to do with that by any chance?
I guess you could say it does.
What did you do?
Well, my great-grandpa was a tattoo artist for over 80 years. By the end of his career, it was said he had tattooed over 10,000 people. I found his job super interesting, and he often let me watch him work. Basically, I'm really used to looking at tattoos, which means I can spot a fake straight away.
Huh? A fake?
Yeah. Did you ever play with those stick-on tattoos at school? I think he's using those to try and intimidate people at work. I called him out on it. Then I warned him of the dangers of claiming to be a gangster at work. That's all.
Wow, you did all that? And now he's barely saying a word to anybody. Wait, that means...
That he's probably not the son of the gang leader, and it was all nothing but a huge pack of lies from the get-go.
What the hell?
I think we should all just carry on doing our jobs as usual for the time being. Somehow or other, I have a feeling this still isn't over, so I just want to sit back and watch how things play out for a little while more. To be more specific, my hunch is that he's still the same old domineering jerk who thinks he's better than everyone, and is only being quiet because he's afraid of getting in trouble. I suspect he'll start sucking up to me from now on because he knows he can't take advantage of me, while continuing to throw his weight around with everyone else.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. It would be amazing if his attitude really did improve.
Listen to this. So, the CEO came to me with an issue he's been having.
The CEO?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because he's younger than Ken, or whether it's because of his kind, gentle personality, or well, a bit of both. But apparently, Ken's attitude towards him is super contemptuous and disdainful. What is it?
Lewis? Who are you?
Crap, sorry, my phone battery's about to cut out. Catch you tomorrow, Mikaela.
Okay. See you tomorrow, Lewis. Sleep well.
Ken? Where are you right now? Huh? Oh, I was just having a little smoke break. I'll be back soon, I promise. I see. Reception asked me to pass on a message. Reception? Why would reception want me? There are 40 gang members in the lobby demanding we hand you over to them. They friends of yours? That's the message. Oh my god. What? Apparently they're all waiting in the lobby for you. Oh, what the hell did you do, Ken? No. No way. Like I'd be friends with people like that. I knew it. So you're not the son of the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, after all. It was never anything but a lie, was it? Fine, I admit it. I lied. It was a big fat lie. Of course it was. Look, Lewis, I know this looks bad, but you gotta hear me out here. I might have said some things that aren't true to you and the guys, but when you said all that stuff to me before, I realized what I was doing was wrong, so I stopped. And please, you gotta help me. Won't you do something to get rid of them? Use your connections or something. My connections? Don't play dumb with me, Lewis. I got you figured out. You have history with the criminal underworld, don't you? The criminal underworld? What have you been sniffing, my dude? I'm just a regular guy. No way. No. You're lying. You have to be. You're the one they're demanding to see, so you're the one who should go out and deal with them. Wait. Actually, I lied. I wasn't having a smoke. I'm in the toilet. Lewis, it's kind of embarrassing. I don't want to have to tell you this, but I have chronic diarrhea. I'm exploding like Mount Vesuvius all over the toilet bowl, and I just realized there was no toilet paper. Oh, really? That's quite the unfortunate situation, huh, Ken? Well, in that case, I'll have no choice but to go and see them myself. Please, I'm begging you. Oh my God, it's just splattered everywhere. Hey, Lewis, I mean. Lewis, sir, help me. What's wrong? It's the Aryan Brotherhood. They're here to get me. Oh, you mean the 40 guys from just now? I suppose you could forgive the girl on reception for mistaking the 40 mean-looking guys covered in swastika tattoos waiting in the lobby for gang members. And in a sense, she was right. Half right. You see, it turns out that 37 of them are actually ex-convicts and gang members who came today to rent out one of our vacant offices to deliver a workshop to the local youth about the dangers of getting involved with gangs. The remaining 3 were a completely unrelated group of your clients, here to talk to you about the situation with your ongoing contract amendments. Since they went out of their way to come and see you, I thought I'd do my part and lead them to the toilet. Yeah, I know, damn it. They caught me when I bumped into them on my way out. Oh, is that so? I felt awful about them waiting so long in the lobby, so I'm glad they finally found you. Great timing. No, it was not great timing at all. The Aryan Brotherhood caught me. They said they were taking me to a gang member rehabilitation facility. Sure, what's the problem with that? You're a gang member, after all, right? Look, the truth is, the guys who showed up today are part of an organization called Homeboy Enterprises. They provide rehabilitation programs for gang members and ex-cons and teach them the skills required to live a decent, honest life in regular society. Their chairman is also one of our clients, so you should really be more careful with your language. And they didn't catch you. They came to see you. Came to see me? Hasn't the CEO told you yet? As of today, you were officially dismissed from the company. What? Actually, he did say that, but I thought he was just kidding. Oh my God. Oh yeah. How could I forget? You've been treating the CEO like crap, haven't you? Huh? How do you mean? You may have stopped trying to force your work on new employees like me and Mikaela, but I never thought you'd be stupid enough to try and force it onto the CEO instead. What was the line you used to threaten him again? Oh yeah, the same one you've been using on me and Mikaela these last few months. I'm the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, son. I told you it was a bad idea to go telling people at work you were a gang member, didn't I? Not only did you flat out ignore my warning, you stepped up your crazy behavior to levels previously unimaginable by trying to intimidate the CEO with your crap instead. What did you expect to happen? Obviously you were going to get fired. Oh God, oh man. To think he even went out of his way to call this rehab organization to try and set you on the straight and narrow. He could have easily just hung you out to dry. A testament to his character, don't you think? And you have the nerve to say they caught you. Huh? Oh yeah, that reminds me. We told Homeboy Enterprises about the whole thing with you stalking the CEO's kid sister. What? Stalking? His sister is still a high school student, right? Not only is what you did ethically wrong, it's also illegal. Apparently he's going to be charging you for a hefty bill in compensation. What with being the CEO of a company, he knows his way around a lawyer's office. And not only that, he's also been gathering evidence of your crimes, so It's pretty much a guarantee you'll be forced to pay up. Whoa, wait a sec. I have nothing further to say to you. Please, wait, I can explain. Goodbye, Ken. Oh my god. No!
Hi, Lewis. Are you there? Is today your day off?
Sorry, I didn't say anything. I expect the CEO will be making the official announcement during afternoon assembly. Listen, the truth is, I've decided to go back to Homeboy Enterprises.
Huh? Wait, what? You're a part of Homeboy Enterprises?
Well, to tell you the truth, yeah, I am. I got wrapped up in some bad stuff when I was a kid, got sent to prison and fell in with the Aryan Brotherhood. After I did my time, I knew I had to get out of the gang life or I was either going to end up dead or back in jail, so I joined Homeboy Enterprises, a charity organization aimed at rehabilitating gang members. I'm good friends with their chairman now. His name is Derek. They have some dealings with our company, and I bumped into Derek when he showed up to discuss some things with my manager. To cut a long story short, he ended up inviting me back, not as someone receiving rehab, but to work for them, for real this time.
Wow. I see. I had no idea you were in the Aryan Brotherhood.
Listen, Mikaela, I know we haven't known each other long, but I just want you to know it's been a pleasure to work with you. You've helped me out with so many things I lost count.
No, you're the one who's helped me. But, to be honest, I'd feel kind of sad if this was the end.
Huh?
Lewis, you wouldn't happen to have a girlfriend, would you?
No.
Well, in that case, how would you feel about joining me for a meal this evening?
Sure. I don't see what... Wait a sec. What?
Forget I said anything. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. To be honest, I would have been sad if this was goodbye, too.
Wow, really? I'm so pleased.
Well then, let me find a nice-looking restaurant and get back to you, okay? I'll start by looking for one as soon as I get off work, so hold tight.
Sure thing, Lewis. I'm waiting.
The office car park was filled with cheers of joy and jubilation so loud they could be heard from miles away as Ken was driven away in the back of a black van. Me and Derek, my buddy and the CEO of Homeboy Enterprises, the gang member rehab facility we talked about earlier, got permission from Ken's parents in advance to take him to his new workplace. When we told them he had been going around the office telling everyone he was the son of a gang boss, his parents' shoulders slumped in disappointment as they sighed, "But we come from a long line of farmers." Derek tells me he put Ken to work at Homeboy Enterprises the day after they took him in. You might think it's strange that he was allowed to be admitted despite lying about his gang ties, but nonetheless, we thought his failure to fit into society made him a suitable candidate for rehabilitation. Now he spends his days doing manual labor surrounded by big, burly ex-convicts. It's tough. But if we're honest, tough is exactly what people like Ken need to learn the ways of the world. By the way, he'll be paying the compensation for stalking the CEO's sister in small installments, as and when he can afford to with the wages he earns from his new job. I somehow felt an indescribable sorrow in the last message he sent me, which simply read, "My entire body aches all the time." I'm probably the only one who felt that way, though.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Trinity? Could you tell me the reason why you and your husband were in my room earlier? If you guys are planning to stay the night here, would you both please go to the guest bedroom? Oh, hi, Ari. I was surprised that you actually went outside the house for once, but I guess you're home now. This place is my home, so of course I'd be coming back. Now, could you and your husband please come here and get your things out of my room? What? What's wrong with us wanting to be in there? Do you really think it's a bad thing that my husband and I want to get a taste of what this room feels like in this penthouse here? Then go to the guest bedroom. It has the same view as my room, but the only difference is that it's not already occupied. We only just put our stuff down in there, though. You really think you can just come into this house and do as you please? I'm sorry, but my bed is off limits to anyone else as it was specifically made to my needs. I get that it's comfy, but it's not meant for you. Oh? So you found out what I was really after in that room then? Well, if you chose my room over the guest bedroom, the only real difference is the bed, so that was pretty obvious to me. If you and your husband do anything in that bed while I'm out of the house, I am telling you right now that you'll both be charged $10,000 to get me a new one. $10,000 is what you paid for that? You really expect me to believe something like that? I hope you do, considering that's the price I had to pay. So come and get your things right now. The fact that everything always has to be about you is so annoying. Ari, you've really gone and done it this time. What did I do? You went and took some of my money out of my purse, right? Huh? I am not in that much of a need for money where I do something like that to my own sister. Yeah, sure. That's probably because you're always taking mom and dad's money like some thieving parasite. What did you say? What are you talking about? The other day, I was in your bedroom, right? Well, I had accidentally left my purse in there when you kicked my husband and I out. So when I went in there to grab it today, there should have been around $500 in it, but there was only $200. Huh? I don't know what happened to your money. Actually, I never even saw that your purse was left in my room these past couple of days. Did you really forget to take it out of my bedroom the other day? That's what I expected the criminal to start saying next. I already had a talk with both mom and dad, and they told me they never went into your room. So that would mean while my purse was forgotten about in your room, you found it and took $300 out of it before putting it back where I had forgotten it. This is so stupid. So you're not going to confess to any of it? Hey, Trinity, could all of this be happening because you want to start living in my penthouse? We are not talking about your penthouse right now. This is about that money which was in my purse. I want you to give me back that $300 you stole from me first before we talk about anything else here. I told you I don't know what happened to your money. Jeez, Ari, this is exactly the reason for why you're 40 years old and can't get married still, right? Now, what does that have to do with anything? You know what a lot of people call women like you? They call you a middle-aged woman still living in her nursery room. Huh? You don't work any kind of a job and you live off the money your parents make. A 40-year-old, useless shut-in. I have a job, though. You have no idea how hard it is to make money in this world and probably still think it just grows on trees or something. And that's why you ended up stealing my money from my purse. I have told you 3 times now I don't know anything about that purse. It's so upsetting that a woman in her 40s had to steal money from her little sister. For Christ's sake. So you have no interest in actually listening to anything I have to say, do you? I'm not going to think of some money-stealing criminal woman as my older sister anymore, so it's over between you and I. I'm cutting ties to you. From now on, my husband and I will be living in this penthouse. It kind of sucks that mom and dad are still going to be living here with us, but that will only last a couple more years before they both croak. And while they're still around, they'll make for 2 great housekeepers. So this is goodbye to you, Ari. Have fun on the streets now after you're kicked out of this place. I knew this is what you were wanting. I have to say, the fact that you've already lived close to half of your life and have still not gotten a taste of the real world is really disappointing. So hopefully, kicking you out of this penthouse once and for all helps you grow a little. Aren't you embarrassed to be 40 now and still not have any experience working for a company? And that's not even as bad as how ashamed you should be feeling for stealing $300 out of my purse. I'm not unemployed, and I was not the one that stole your money. But if this is how you want to play this game, then I'll play along with you. I'll be out of this place as soon as possible. Good, good, good. I will praise you on the fact that you came around to accepting your crimes pretty quickly there. I want you out of this penthouse in 1 hour, all right? Once again, I'm going to have to praise you for getting all your things together and moving out of this house in under an hour. Honestly, hearing praise from someone like you gives me the opposite feeling of being happy. I'm sure you're dying on the inside right now, right? That's right. That bet of yours, the $10,000 one. I'll be taking it now. So what you mean is you'll be paying me $10,000 to take it, right? What are you going on about? It wasn't even you that paid for the bet in the first place. It was Dad that got this thing for you. Excuse me? Really? Knowing about how you forced Dad to buy you this kind of an expensive bed, even though he was already paying for you to eat and sleep in this house, is really sly of you. And that pisses me off a little. I cannot believe that for the past 2 years, ever since you completely shut yourself into this place, you've done nothing but take advantage of others and make things all about yourself. You've received enough of everyone's money now, right? From now on, it's my turn to lay back and enjoy this fancy penthouse while Mom and Dad pay for my husband and I. Trinity, you really have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. Wait, it's more like you've just forgotten everything about what happened a few years ago. Trying to threaten me by saying some really vague and stupid things like that aren't going to scare me away. Don't you ever come back here, all right? Bye-bye. I'll hold you to that then. Ari, hey! What is this about this place costing $16,000 a month to live in? This penthouse has already been paid off by Dad now, right? He just came up to me and said that if I want to start living here with my husband forever, then we'll need to start paying the rent. And what's this about you having been the one paying the rent this whole time? What's Dad even going on about right now? How could a jobless parasite like you have had the money to afford a place like this? I told you I'm not unemployed, Trinity. And if you'd like a little more detail into what I'm doing for work, I'm running a decently sized company as the CEO. Stop lying, you idiot! Mom already told me about how you never leave the house except for maybe a couple of times a month. That's because I'm normally working remotely from my bedroom. And the only reason I really have to leave the house at all is to go to the office building and hold meetings or talk with some customers in person. That's what Mom meant by that. Now, listen here. We are not living in the 20th century anymore. This is the 21st century now, where people can be employed yet not ever have to leave their home. And recently, due to a lot of world events, companies have been more open to letting their employees work from home instead of having to make any commute into the office. I don't need to listen to you talking about all that crap. And another thing, Trinity, has your mental health gotten any better? I ask that because it seems that you've only gotten worse when it comes to how you twist situations to your benefit, so that you never have to listen to anything others are saying to you. Did you stop going to see that therapist or something? Come on! I had thought this whole time that Dad bought this amazing penthouse with the money he got from his pension after he left his company and retired. So you forgot what happened with Dad then when he retired? Come back here already, Ari! I can't do that. Remember that I'm holding you to your word now? And that word was you saying for me to never return there again. But there's nobody here that can afford to pay this kind of rent. Well, then you should have actually been listening to me. Shut the hell up. Ari! Both Mom and Dad left the penthouse. They even took all the things that were left over in your room and left. There's not a single person in this house that can help pay for the rent now. My husband's been telling me over and over again that he's not earning enough to pay for this place. $16,000 is way too crazy for him and I to afford. Well, it's not like you'll be paying it anyway, considering that this is the last month you can live in that penthouse. After that, the lease will be finished and you both will have to leave. What? I made sure to end my lease there a while ago, and this was the last month before the landlord said he'd be placing the penthouse back on the market. If you want to continue living there, then you'll have to apply for the place and hope you're accepted. But of course, that'll mean you both have to start paying rent. What the hell are you talking about? It's only been 2 years since you, Mom, and Dad moved into this place, right? I know that. And from the very beginning, we only really were planning to stay there for around 2 years. Why would you only want to stay for that short period of time? Trinity, Because of you, Mom and Dad were no longer able to live in the house they had before. You know, the one you and I both grew up in? You seriously forgot literally everything that happened back then? What? You went and forced one of your former classmates to give up their husband and let you take him, right? And, well, that former classmate of yours, Grandpa, just so happened to be the technical owner of the land Mom and Dad's house was on. That man ended up getting very, very upset with you and the family and forced both Mom and Dad out of their house to have it torn down. And then he went and sold the land to someone else. But before he could do that, Dad was forced by him to pay for the house's demolition and for the land to be cleaned up, which cost Dad most of his retirement and all. What the hell? How? So that's what happened with you. You didn't forget about what happened, rather you just never cared about how it would later affect your parents. But Ari, I told Mom and Dad that I could step in and pay off the settlement that was being asked from them by your former classmate and her parents. But they told me it wasn't any of my responsibility. So I thought, at the very least, I would take Mom and Dad, who had lost their house at the fault of you, and I would put them in a penthouse with me, since the both of them had always wanted to live in one of the skyscrapers downtown. So after they had paid all their dues that you caused, they came to me and we moved into the penthouse together. Mom and Dad were in tears about what I was giving them, and I asked them how long they wanted to live there, and they both agreed on 2 years. So that's why your lease is over with now? Although I'm kind of surprised that Mom and Dad even allowed you to come over to my penthouse after all your cheating husband and thieving self had done to them. Huh? Are you aware why Mom and Dad were both living with me in that penthouse now? Because of all that you'd done. And if you'd like to know, the only reason you and your husband were actually allowed past security is because I allowed it. What the? I had always thought that Mom and Dad were so happy to pay off that settlement for me, and then chose to buy that penthouse with Dad's retirement after I left. And that you forced your way into there after leaving the part-time job you had and making them pay for all your needs. I thought that if Mom and Dad could afford a penthouse like that and pay for a full-grown woman like you, then they really were rich, and that got me all excited. Well, in reality, all of this was forced to happen because of what you'd done, and it was rough for all of us since. I really thought you already knew about everything that happened since you were the cause of all of it. I would really like to know what's inside that massive head of yours. It can't be considered a true brain or anything by any form of scientific method, can it? And this is why Mom and Dad were asking you to please go and see a therapist. I never thought my own sister would say that about me. Hey, can you tell me where Mom and Dad moved to? Not happening. Why not? Because they've both demanded that I never tell you. Then where have you moved to, Ari? I'm sure that things are so lonely for a single 40-year-old woman, right? My husband and I will come live with you to help make you feel better. What a freaking joke. I'm not even single anymore. What? You got married without telling me? That's right. Then how about you let my husband and I live there and we can all be a happy double couple family? I don't want you causing any trouble for my husband, so I'm not telling you where I live. No way. How about you stop acting like everything's about you and get real, Trinity? You have now not only been disowned by both Mom and Dad, but you've also lost the privilege of calling me your older sister. What? Honestly, something like this should have happened a lot sooner. I think right after you stole that man away from someone else and married him, while also causing both Mom and Dad to lose their home and money, we all should have cut ties to you. Maybe Mom and Dad both thought that after a few years you'd change, but considering the kind of freak you are mentally, there is no way you'd get any better. You didn't even bother going through more therapy, instead just making up a plan to have me kicked out of the house by saying I stole your money. Ugh, there's no hope for you anymore. You're not going to be living in that penthouse for much longer, and you won't be finding any of us. Wait! The apartment my husband and I had been living in before, we ended the lease on it, so... Well, that penthouse's lease is also ending, so find somewhere new to live from now on. But there's nowhere left we can go! Make sure you're out of there before the end of this month. Goodbye forever. Wait a second, Ari! We can figure something out for me. Trinity and I are 10 years apart in age, which means she's 30 years old now, yet you probably would never be able to guess that by the way she acts so much like a selfish and spoiled brat. Ever since I can remember, she's always been wanting the things I had. But who could have seen her behavior getting any worse to the point she'd go after other people's things, like their husband? And it's a bit more than 2 years since that happened. These last 2 years, my parents and I have done our best to move past the horrible memories she implanted in us. But after thinking she'd be back a better person, she only proved to us that her mental health was not fixable. And because of that, she's no longer a part of this family. On the day her and her husband had to leave that penthouse, they got into this huge fight that led to their divorce. But the issue there was that my sister had no money at all, so she couldn't afford to even rent the most basic of places. Therefore, she had to contact my rather hard ass of an aunt, who came and picked her up to move out with them and work on their farm. Our aunt went ahead and made a deal with Trinity, which was that by working on her farm and paying my parents back every cent they lost because of her 2 years ago, she would not have to be abandoned by the rest of the larger family as well. Seems that her life of having no money at all is going to continue on for a couple more years now.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.